Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's Paragon John coming back at you with another video. You could have clicked any video on the internet, but you in fact chose to click this one. So, guys, in this video, I want to talk about how to tell if someone around you is an NPC, okay? Obviously, a little bit of a spicy title, a little bit of a spicy topic here, but first thing I want to touch on here is the idea of NPCs in general, okay? This is something that's kind of been going around on the internet for about the past year or so. A lot of people have been talking about this idea, and a lot of people, I think, are talking about it because a lot of people are starting to wake up in this world, in this matrix that we live in. And the idea is that there are people around you that exist in society and in real life, in your life, that are a non-player character, okay? An NPC, that's what that stands for, non-player character. And the idea is that if you guys are familiar with video games, I'm sure most of you listening probably are, but I'm sure some of you are not gamers here. And so the idea of an NPC is like, it's a character in the video game that's just a part of the system. They're a part of the game. They're not a player character. They're like a character that's just a pre-programmed robot by the game to just be a part of the game, to basically enhance the player's experience in the game. But there's not a real soul behind the character. There's not a real player behind the character. It's just a pre-programmed machine by the game to be a part of the game, like to be a part of the experience. And so people expanded that idea into real life, and there are a lot of people that think and believe that there are people that are like that in real life. There are actually people amongst us who are non-player characters, or like non-soul beings, you might say. Now, I put out a poll on this channel about a week ago asking you guys if you think NPCs are real, and from the results it was 90% yes, 10% no, and nobody voted for impossible to know, which was also an option. So clearly you guys do believe that NPCs exist, and I'll just go ahead and say I completely agree. I do in fact believe that NPCs exist in real life, and it's not something that you can necessarily prove scientifically or logically, but it's something that you can feel when you're interacting with people if you're dialed in or tapped into consciousness in a deep way, like I probably am, and you guys probably are. It's something that you can just feel energetically or instinctively, or you can't like explain how you know, but you do, or how you know you can feel something is off about a particular individual. So I'm just going to say yes, it is an unfalsifiable hypothesis. So I mean, I don't think we necessarily can 100% know for sure if this is really true. However, with that said, I am a believer. I am someone who thinks that this is true, and I'm going to get into how you can tell if someone around you is an NPC. Okay, so I'm sorry it took me 3.5 minutes to get here, but so the first thing that you can look for if you're trying to determine if someone around you is an NPC or not is you'll feel this kind of strange emptiness to them when you're around them. It's like they're there physically with you, but psychologically, or you know, in their soul, in their consciousness, behind their eyes, there's like nobody there. You can just kind of sense that. And again, it's not something that you scientifically or 100% physically know is the case, but you just sense that it's the case. That there's something about this individual that I'm around right now that feels like there's nobody home inside of their human skin suit. It's like they're just here. They don't question anything at all. They don't have goals or aspirations or dreams of their own that they're working towards. They just believe whatever society puts out there on the surface. They follow all the social trends. They don't really have conversations or thoughts about anything that's like real or spiritual or deep at all. They're very, very surface level, very shallow, very just empty feeling. Like they feel like a character in a video game. They feel like, you know, you can't really have a conversation about anything that's real or genuine with this entity here. You know, it feels like, and it sounds like I'm dehumanizing them. I'm trying to like be condescending. That's not what I mean at all when I'm talking about NPCs, guys. This is a totally different thing. This is like a spiritual experience that you have with people around you. This is like something that you just can intuitively sense or feel. And so that's one thing. They'll be kind of empty feeling. It doesn't feel like they're really here with you. Despite their physical being there with you, it doesn't feel like there's a shared reality with this person. It doesn't feel like, okay, I'm here in this moment right now with this other person who's also here in this moment, and there's a shared reality between the two of us, and, you know, we're sharing this moment together, we're having conversations, I can tell there's a real person there, I'm a real person. It's not that at all. It's like a very empty, shallow feeling with this individual. So that's step number one, or not step number one, but that's first thing that you can notice if you suspect someone of being an NPC, is that there's this strange emptiness to the person. Number two is, when you look at their life, it looks very, very sheep-like. It's very like follower-like. It's like they just grew up and, you know, they had a very just regular, average kind of life. They never really went through any kind of pain or hardship that's like out there. They never really went on their own path in life, kind of thing. They sort of just became just like their parents. Like they grew up and they had this very cookie cutter life, very basic life, just kind of like what you like, kind of like a sim in a video game. Like they just, you know, they went to school, they were just like everybody else in school, they got out of school, you know, maybe they went to college, did what everyone else does, you know, now they have a job, some regular job, you know, I'm not trying to shit on people with regular jobs, but they may have like some regular job that they probably don't even like, or, you know, they got married, they had a family, whatever. Their life just kind of played out in a super surface level way, like a super predictable way. Like they sort of just grew up and their life was just kind of like everybody else's. There was no kind of uniqueness to their life, really. Like it was very much so they followed a societal script, like, you know, reach this age, do this thing, reach this age, do this next thing, you know, be just like everybody else that you grew up with, you know, turn into your parents completely, like never have your own identity at all, never have anything in life that you're pursuing for yourself at all, just kind of this very cookie cutter, number in the system, number in the matrix kind of life, where they never questioned anything at all and just did exactly what society told them to do, and never question anything at all whatsoever, just live this standard like bot life. Okay, so that's one way you can tell if somebody is like that or not, or is an NPC or not, because I've known a lot of people around me who are that way. And I'll say this too, I think the vast majority of people that exist in this matrix, in this reality, in this system that we're all a part of, actually are NPCs. A real player character, like a main character type of person, someone who's taking control of their life, and someone who actually has an identity of their own and is a real person. I think that's not the majority of the entities that were around in this matrix. So I would say that's probably the case, although again, I can't prove any of these things. These are my thoughts here. So the last way you can kind of tell if a person is an NPC is lack of self-awareness. So they don't understand why they do the things they do. They don't understand human nature at all. They don't understand themselves at all. They're basically just like a robot. They're at the whim, they're at the mercy of whatever emotion that they feel in the moment. I feel this emotion right now, so I act on it instantly. You know, there's no kind of introspection with the person. There's no kind of curiosity with the person. They don't want to learn about themselves. They're not curious about human nature. They're not curious about humanity in general. They're not curious about reality. They're not curious about learning things. They're not curious about, trying to understand what may be outside of this reality in terms of spirituality, in terms of God. They don't have any kind of deeper questions about that. If they're a religious NPC, they'll just completely follow society in terms of the religious system. You gotta go to church every Sunday. You have to go to church. God takes attendance. They basically just blindly follow whatever society promotes. They don't have any kind of spiritual yearning for understanding or truth or nothing spiritual about the person at all. Just very what's the word I'm looking for here? Very physical, very materialistic, very on the surface, very just like, oh, did you see this sports game on TV? The weather's going to be like this today. Oh, this celebrity award show, can you believe the result of it? Like, just very much so matrix-minded individual, stuck in the matrix, very much so in their ego. A lot of times lack of empathy as well. A lot of NPCs lack empathy. They can't really connect with anyone. They never have a real conversation. The things they say, it feels scripted. Like, it feels like this person has a scripted, pre-programmed response that they're going to give you every time you have a conversation with them, or every time you see this individual, they say hello to you in the exact same way every single time. Very limited, like, dialogue tree with the person, if you will. They're very carnal, essentially. They're very much so in this materialistic realm, 100%. Very much so in their ego. Don't question anything. I know I said that already, but yeah, these are just a few things that you can kind of look for if you suspect someone that you're around is an NPC. And one last thing that I know I said the last thing was the last thing, but this is actually the last thing. Another way you can tell is when you meet the person, or when you're around the individual, they feel like a caricature of a person. They don't feel like a genuine person that's in the moment there, that's here to like explore reality, right? They're like an exaggerated character in like a TV show, or in like a video game. It's like, this is not a real person. This is like some kind of exaggerated, flamboyant kind of character that the game maker like inserted into reality to just fill the background, or to just play this role, and that's all they do. Like, it's just ones and zeros. If you guys understand what I mean by that, like, you know what I mean. Like, you've met a person where it was like, this is like Peter Griffin in real life or something. You know what I mean? Like, this is a person, I'm just using that as an example, but the point is, like, the person is a very out there kind of character. You know what I mean? Like, they're not really like a real person at all. It's like a very much so, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, guys, but you guys know what I mean. Like, the character of the person is very much so cartoonish, but it's like a person in real life. So that's another way you can tell. These are just a few things that I've noticed in my life, guys. If there was someone that I suspected of being an NPC, and these were like the kind of characteristics that they had, these were kind of the things that I could tell that they had. So lack of conversation, lack of curiosity, emptiness, energy to them, just something about the person feels like they're not really here, despite their physical being here. Kind of a overtly cartoonish character to the individual, talking on scripts, things like this, lack of curiosity, not questioning anything at all, being completely a part of society and thinking just whatever society promotes is absolutely 100% the end-all be-all. Nothing is a conspiracy, nothing is strange about this reality. Oh, this reality is not that evil, I'm just kind of here, everything's sunshine and rainbows, everything's perfect. There's not a group of people that are trying to control this reality and control us and, keep us suffering and things like that for their own gain. There's not evil people in the world that do sadistic things, that we don't know about, even though it's coming out now. Like, just no no sort of soul to the person at all. Like, very soulless individuals. Some people think NPCs do have souls. Some people think they don't have souls. If I had to guess myself, I would probably put money, or I would lean to the side of they don't have a soul, because that's just how it feels when you're interacting with the person. But yeah, guys, these are just a few things that I've kind of noticed. These are a few things you can look out for and test for if you are around a person who you think might be an NPC. So yeah. Anyways, that's the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you guys think NPCs are real? What have you noticed with NPCs or people that you think are NPCs? Give me some behaviors that you guys have noticed. Give me some psychological things about the person that you guys have noticed. Just give me your thoughts in the comments. So that's the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. My name is John, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.